Hello you all, it's Agnes coming to you with my fun thrift store makeover. As you can see, I did pick some fruit and I've been telling you about it, a bag each, and it's actually super solid ones, and but they're very bumpy, so I really hope that that's going to work for me. So I of course decided to cover everything with my chalk paint straight from Home Depot. Okay, here we go. My two fruits are covered, and of course, if you follow me for some time, you do know that I love me to make some patterns. So of course I'm going to my patterns, and notice how I'm trying to go around it. I usually, because it's, again, as you can see, is the fruit is obviously uneven, so I'm putting my popsicle stick right in the middle where I can actually have some sort of a flat surface, and then we're just going to fly by the seat of our pants to try to figure out how we can make those lines to follow to create nice movement. So here we go. I'm counting my lines, my spaces, and it seems like I do have enough for my pattern. So now I'm just going to freehand it all the way to the top, and my goal here is sort of create them wonky, because my pear, obviously I'm working with the pear, it's on the wonkier side, so I do want them to sort of have that flair to it, move. They end in some places, as you can see, is wider, and the other one skinnier. It's just, that's what I wanted to do. See how bulky my pear is on the side, and then how sort of smooth is on the right side. So you know what, then this is what I'm trying to do. So it seems like I'm having fun creating double lines. Okay, this one is good. So now we just got to make sure that they sort of look okay, that there is not a big difference. And then now it's going to be time to go to the bottom. And the bottom is really simple. I just follow them the same pattern, and of course I shrink them right to the center, to the bottom center of my pear, right? It is fun. There is no skills required. And I always say is, when you draw the pattern, when you do the patterns, you do want to make sure that you do have you have fun. Hey, so as our pencil is out and everything is dry, why don't we just do the same thing to the apple? But this time I do not want to do the stripes. This time I'm aiming for checks. So it's, again, the same thing. I'm starting, of course, where I can put my the popsicle stick, or whatever ruler, or whatever the width of your stripes, or whatever the checks you wanted to make, and you just simply have fun with it. And of course, this is another wonky apple, but let's just hope. See, here I little struggle, but because it's going to the sides, and I need to count my stripes and see if I do have enough. And it seems like I do have to adjust some of them here and there, but you know what, I've done it. So now we go across again the same way. Obviously, if you do have a bendable some kind of liners or measuring devices, it will be easier. But you know what, I don't have it, so all what I do is just drawing the width of my popsicle stick right where I can, and then I'm just connecting my lines, and I'm going to do the same thing right underneath, and of course whatever I can, and we're just going to be freehanding it. Remember, this is supposed to be handmade and supposed to be hand painted. It should not look like a stencil where all the lines are perfect, and I feel that this is how all the crafting should look. It is extra special because it's done by hands. And I'm telling you, any wonkiness that I create, I always remember, what did I do, who was with me. I mean, I remember all the details. So now look what I'm doing, the same thing. I've done my lines all the way, and now I'm just going to the bottom. And now the top is a little bit of a difficult, because it is on a square side, and then all of a sudden my apple is flat. Well, ideally you do want it to follow with the movement of actual item, or the thing that you're painting and doing the pattern on. But I feel like that whatever I have a plan here, it should work. So again, I did whatever I could, and then I'm just freehanding. And obviously my checks are going to be obviously getting not as wide, and they are going to be skinnier and smaller as the apple goes to the core. Here we go. I'm marking my my places where I'm going to be painting a color to make sure that I'm not going to make mistake, because that will be difficult to correct the pattern later. So here we go, it's all done. So now it's time to paint. Of course, you may think, okay, Agnes is always doing black and white, but you know what? I so love it. It's so classic. And I do have all other fruits painted with different patterns, so black and white it is this time. Obviously, there are a lot of ways to paint the checks, and this is my way. I usually like to put the paint, whatever it is, on my brush slightly in the middle, and then take care of my edges before I go ahead and paint the everything else inside. This is what it is easier. And of course, the lines will be wonky here and there, and obviously you're staring at me, so it's not easy, but that's fine. You can always correct them later. You just got to get through this whole pattern that we just created, and it is super fun. I actually find painting and doing the patterns that takes a little time, especially at my age, a perfect exercise for my brain, where you do need to concentrate and at the same time you are relaxing. This is not the tiring concentration. Of course, the whole magic and the trick to, the better lines is the brush. And we were just looking at Michael's for those brushes, and I have to tell you, they do cost $3 or $4 one, but they are so worth it. They are the brushes that are very thick and very flat. So that means it is much easier to maneuver around the tight spaces, and eventually you're going to get good at it. I'm still not there, even though I painted a million checks, but I feel I'm getting there. So this is the middle, and I'm coming to the bottom of my apple, and as you can see, this is how the lines are going, and it's not really easy here, because on the top of it that my lines are going in a different directions. The natural movement of that apple pushes my brush the other way, but you know what, we just got to do it. So what's important in the MacKenzie Childs, if you do like those patterns, that all those little elements in the pattern are attaching by corners. So obviously I need to work on those a bit, but I'll have to get a different brush. So now it's time to move on to the top. And of course, I made mistake. I painted all the way on the top, and now I have to paint my black lines that I've created on the top of my apple with white all over again, because I wasn't paying attention and the apple did not look good. Okay, so now all is drying, and you may be most likely thinking, oh my goodness, this looks so dead. That red apple was looking much better. Rest assured, we're going to make things better. So here I go, as the top of my apple is drying. I'm actually correcting my lines, the little wonkiness, because my hand had some black paint, some whatever on it. So now what I was doing, I was trying to correct my lines. So again, I'm drawing the lines with the pencil, trying to make sure that I don't have to repeat painting over the black lines again. And then we're going to attempt to finish that apple up top the right way. So I decided to create 2 extra rows of checks right on the top. And obviously that leaf is on my way, and I do not really want to keep bending it, because I'm afraid I'm going to break it off. So, well, wish me luck. We are going for it. So here it is, the brush that I was telling you about. It literally looked like, and it's the same company, it literally looked like it is the top of the toothpick, but it is stiff enough to carry the paint. It is stiff enough to hold my details, and it's actually, look at this, it carries a lot of paint right on it. So I think it's looking a little bit better, and I think we are going to be done. Here we go. Now time to dry and adjust here and there. Make sure that my squares are touching only the corners, and we are all good. So now it's time to move on to a pear. The pear is going to be much easier. So I'm taking the wider brush and I'm just going to paint the entire, just the big stripes. And again, the same story. I like to go from the middle, leave a little bit of the paint in the middle of whatever my pattern is, and then just worry about the stripes. And a lot of times is, as I paint, I worry about the one side of the actual pattern, and then I just turn around my project and take care of the other side. So just keep looking at it. For some reason, because obviously I am right-handed, it is easier for me to take care of. See, here we go. And I'm going to try to turn my project now to take care of the line on the left. It just seems like I always can handle the lines on the left better than I can handle the lines on both ends, holding the project one way. Are you like me? Just such a weirdo I am. But either way, see, now that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go all the way. I don't want to keep twisting and turning my project as paint is wet, because that's where the mess is happening. That's where the little, things are leaving the marks. Obviously my fingers. So here we go. I just paint one side and I'm going to turn around and paint the other side. It does seem like it's working for me, and I'm not going to really worry about the bottom of my pear right now, because again, I do not want it to rest it right on it and smear all the black right on the back of it, underneath of it. So I do actually love the profile, and my pear is looking super smooth and super I do not want to, not the curvy, but the curve sort of disappeared. You do not see that bulkiness right there. See, here we go. So it's all done. Now it's time to make the final touches on the bottom, and I guess we are done. Now here is where the exciting portion will come. Now we're going to be adding a little bit more of a dimension, so the fruit is going to look a little bit more alive, and we are going to for sure bring some metallic, and my metallic is going to be a gold. Well, but before we do this, we got to clean up some areas where I had either my fingers or something on my table that just stained some areas black. So here we go. I'm getting a brush and I'm literally wiping it off. I'm getting a little bit of the white paint on it, and I'm wiping it off and adding a little bit more of some sort of a highlights to bring additional sheen. It might still not look as good as it's going to be when we actually finish right now, but I think that those little elements like shading of a white, like right on it, and of course see some areas I did have too much of a paint, so now I'm using my finger and it's actually pretty good. So I am going to do now add a little bit gold here and there, and this time I'm using the Splendid gold just to check it out and see how this one is going to work. It is a little bit on the lighter side. It's more see-through kind of a gold. It needs a little bit more of a layers, but you know what? I'm just trying now a new gold to see. Not that I'm trying to walk away from my glorious gold, but it is fun to see new things. See, I'm just going here, some on black, some on white, trying to bring as much as I can, but very randomly. I'm telling you, I love to craft, but I do love the finishing touches. For me, the details are making it. So I'm going to do the same thing to my pear, and I'm going to again bring that gold, and I'm going to go over the black and over the white. I'm not going to all the way up because I do not want it to create the circus tent over here. Because don't you think that does look like this cupola from the circus tent on my pear right now? So I'm telling you, I'm so wonky. So I'm just adding, pieces of the gold here and there randomly on one side, two sides, on the bottom, on the top, but I do not want it to be the regular, because then it just looks like machine made it. A machine can be wonky too, right? But I'm not a machine, so I'm adding only here and there. So God, get the gold out of my hands because I'm going to add too much. Okay, so I've added a little bit of the white, and of course now I'm going with my second coat of I was going with the second coat of the gold. So now, obviously, the leaf that was on the top of my fruit is going to get its gold leaf treatment. This is the liquid gold that I think I've been showing you all the time. But if you do need the link and exactly which one I'm using, let me know and I will for sure add that for you. But now look how awesome it looks. Like all of a sudden, this pear has a life. Or the apple, but we are not done with it yet. So hold your horses, don't leave me now. And if you are enjoying so far what I'm doing, please don't forget to sprinkle and help me out, because that's what really makes the big difference for all of us. So God, I'm having fun with the gold. Okay, so I think I'm done. So now I'm going to use this the varnish. It calls the triple thick. There are, again, I've been talking to a lot of sassies and they do like to mix the double thick with the triple thick. I actually personally love to use one, and it really doesn't bother me that it is as thick, because I can see what I'm doing. But now look what happens. Do you see the sheen? This looks like I am actually baking my apple back. Do you see how awesome the lines now look? The black is not that black. The black does not make my apple look dead. It's not that dull looking. All of a sudden, my apple has that nice sort of a grayish black hue to it, and the gold is looking absolutely awesome. So the only trick to this whole process of applying that liquid, the varnish, is to make sure that you do not leave dots, like a gulps of it on the surface of the item you are actually glazing or varnishing, because it is going to dry yellow. So you have to make sure that you spread all this nicely. Oh my goodness, that's looking so awesome. So I'm going to let it dry, and I'm not going to hold you to the process, but I'm going to be actually, look at the sheen. So here they are. Do you see how awesome they look? I was doing all this stuff before I discovered that product several months ago, with different ways to achieve that gold. The gloss. Look how awesome that looks. I am absolutely in love with my little project, and my $1 fruit from the thrift store. It looks like $1 million right now, at least to me. And I did have a fun and I did relax. And now on the top of it, I shared with you. So if you did enjoy this project, please don't forget to sprinkle and show me your fruit. I cannot wait to see you make them finish. Again, thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.